first glance, it looks like a tank. Steel body, giant tires. It powers through rivers, marshes, and snowdrifts like they're nothing. But this isn't a war machine. It's just another off-road vehicle. In Russia. Russia builds off-road vehicles like tanks, not because they want to, but because they have to. In a country where roads vanish, rivers slice through the landscape, and the terrain turns against you with every season, survival depends on machines that can handle the extremes. To understand why Russian trucks and off-road vehicles look like military hardware, you have to understand the battlefield they were designed for. Russia isn't just the biggest country in the world, it's one of the most unforgiving. From the frozen tundra of Siberia to the marshlands of the Far East, roads are rare, maintenance is minimal, and nature is relentless. In much of Siberia, there aren't even dirt roads. Whole regions rely on seasonal ice roads, temporary paths that only exist when rivers freeze solid. In winter, temperatures plunge to minus 60 degrees Celsius. In spring, the permafrost melts into a bottomless sea of mud, swallowing trucks whole. If you think a Jeep or a pickup truck can handle it, think again. In these regions, a mechanical failure isn't just a hassle, it's a life or death situation. If your truck breaks down 100 miles from the nearest village with no cell service, no passing traffic, and no hope of rescue, you're stranded. That's why Russian engineers didn't just build trucks. They built survival machines, vehicles that could power through terrain where roads don't exist, endure temperatures that kill batteries, and cross rivers without a bridge. One of the best examples is the ZIL-4906. At first glance, it looks like a tank crossed with a monster truck, but this machine wasn't built for combat. It was built to save lives, specifically the lives of Soviet cosmonauts. When a Soyuz capsule returns to Earth, it doesn't always land where planned. Sometimes it ends up deep in the wilderness, far from civilization. That's where the ZIL-4906 comes in. It was designed to reach cosmonauts no matter where they landed. Forest, river, snowfield, didn't matter. The ZIL-4906 could get there. It's fully amphibious, powered by a massive V8 engine, with retractable propellers for swimming across rivers and lakes. Its giant balloon tires spread the vehicle's weight to avoid sinking into mud or snow. And its rugged chassis was built to shrug off collisions with rocks, logs, and ice. It could operate in temperatures from minus 40 to plus 40 degrees Celsius. The ZIL-4906 wasn't just a rescue truck. It was a rolling symbol of Russia's design philosophy. Overbuilt. Prepare for the worst, and never assume help is coming. If you need raw pulling power, there's one machine that stands above the rest, the MAZ 537. The MAZ 537 isn't just a truck, it's a towing titan. Originally developed in the 1960s for the Soviet military, it was designed to haul tanks, missiles, and ballistic rockets across landscapes where no paved roads existed. It wasn't enough for this machine to carry heavy loads. It had to carry them everywhere, through mud, snow, rivers, and broken terrain. Powered by a 12-cylinder diesel engine, pumping out more than 500 horsepower, the MAZ 537 uses 8 massive wheels with independent suspension and central tire inflation. If the crew encounters soft ground, they can deflate the tires on the fly to increase surface contact, then reinflate once they hit firmer terrain. Everything about the MAZ 537 screams Soviet engineering. It's rugged, it's overbuilt. It's functional to a fault. No luxury, no comfort. Just pure mechanical purpose. If something breaks in the field, it's designed to be fixed with basic tools and spare parts, even under freezing temperatures. But sheer power wasn't enough for every challenge. In parts of Siberia, the ground isn't just soft, it's liquid. Swamps, bogs, and marshes stretch for miles, making wheeled vehicles useless. That's where Russia turned to tracks. Enter the Ghazi 71, a lightweight, fully tracked, all-terrain vehicle built to go where wheels would sink. At first glance, it looks like a miniature tank without the turret. But inside, it's a versatile platform that can carry cargo, people, or supplies across some of the most impassable terrain on Earth. The GAZ-71 was originally developed for military and civilian use in remote regions. With its wide tracks, it distributes weight so well it can drive across soft snow, swampy mud, or even thin ice without breaking through. Unlike a wheeled truck, the GAZ-71 doesn't rely on traction from tires. It glides on its tracks, reducing ground pressure to less than that of a human footprint. And if you think rivers stop it, think again. The GAZ-71 is amphibious, able to float and propel itself using its tracks as paddles. In regions where roads are broken by endless rivers and lakes, this capability isn't a luxury, it's survival. It's machines like the Maze 537 and the GAZ-71 that show how Russian vehicles were shaped not by design trends but by geography. Where the environment throws every obstacle at you, flood, snow, mud, and ice, you don't build for comfort. You build for conquest. While Soviet-era giants like the MAZ 537 and GAZ-71 dominated the Cold War years, modern Russia didn't stop building vehicles for impossible terrain. In fact, they doubled down, creating machines that seem more like science fiction than practical vehicles. One of the most famous modern Russian off-roaders is the Sherp. You've probably seen it in viral videos. A tiny boxy cab perched on 4 enormous balloon tires, crawling over boulders, swimming across lakes, and flipping itself upright when overturned. It doesn't just look wild, it is wild. The Sherp was designed for ultimate simplicity and durability. Those massive tires aren't just for show, they're what make the Sherp unstoppable. Each tire can hold up to 800 liters of air and can be inflated or deflated from inside the cab. If it gets stuck in soft mud or deep snow, the driver drops the pressure, expanding the tire's footprint. On firmer ground, they re-inflate for speed. And here's the real trick. The tires make the Sherp amphibious. It floats naturally using the treads as paddles to propel it through water. There's no need for propellers or special waterproofing. This makes the Sherp perfect for Russia's marshes, river deltas, and flooded lowlands, places where conventional trucks sink and stall. Inside, it's Spartan but functional. Every inch is designed for survival, not comfort. No luxury materials, just tough metal, easy to clean surfaces, and basic controls that won't fail in the cold. Car, it's a life raft on wheels, but if the Sherp is the wild child of Russian off-roaders, the Trekol is its more practical cousin. The Trekol looks more like a conventional off-road truck at first glance, but its key feature is those huge, soft, low-pressure tires, designed specifically to glide over snow, swamp, and tundra. The Trekol can carry up to 8 passengers across terrain that would defeat most 4x4s. Its lightweight fiberglass body resists corrosion in salty environments and extreme cold. Like the Sherp, it's amphibious with the ability to ford rivers and shallow lakes. In Russia's far north, the Trekol is a workhorse for oil fields, polar research stations, and search and rescue operations. Where other vehicles need ice roads or frozen rivers to travel safely, the Trekol just keeps rolling over snowdrifts, slush, and frozen tundra alike. The ZVM-2901 was built for a singular mission, to reach places no other machine could go. Designed for Russia's most remote Arctic and Siberian regions, this vehicle doesn't just drive across tough terrain, it floats across it, climbs it, crawls over it, and bends around it. Unlike traditional trucks or even tracked vehicles, the ZVM-2901 uses an articulated chassis, 2 separate vehicle bodies connected by a pivot joint. This allows the front and rear halves to bend independently, giving it incredible maneuverability over uneven ground. It doesn't need to steer with wheels or tracks, it flexes its entire body like a giant mechanical snake. The massive tracks beneath each section spread the vehicle's weight so widely that it can cross soft marshes, deep snowdrifts, or thin ice without breaking through. And if it encounters water, no problem. The ZVM-2901 is fully amphibious, propelling itself with the same tracks that move it on land. The ZVM-2901 isn't just a vehicle, it's an embodiment of Russia's engineering response to its impossible geography. When you live in a country where roads don't reach, where rivers cut off villages for months, and where snow can pile meters deep, a normal truck just won't cut it. You need something closer to a mobile tank. Machines like the ZVM-2901, the Sherp, the Trekol, the GAZ-71, and the MAZ-537 all follow the same Russian design philosophy. Overbuild. Plan for disaster. Expect no backup. They aren't designed to be beautiful or comfortable. They're designed to survive, and to make sure their passengers survive too. In Russia, the terrain is the enemy, and in a fight against nature itself, you don't bring a car. You bring a tank.